All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most invisible battles of our modern work life, the constant fight for our focus. This isn't just about feeling a little distracted. We're going to dive into the really high price we pay for it, and more importantly, the strategies we can use to finally win our attention back. So, does this sound familiar? If it does, you are so not alone. It's that frustrating feeling, right? A day just packed with activity, emails, messages, jumping between apps, only to get to the end of it, look back and wonder, where did the real work go? It's this modern epidemic of busyness without any real progress. And here's something you really need to understand. That feeling, it's not a personal failure, not at all. It's actually the result of a work environment that puts our brains under constant, relentless attack. Our digital tools, the very things designed to help us, have accidentally created a minefield of interruptions. To really get what we've lost, we first have to talk about what we're aiming for. It's a concept called cognitive continuity. Just think of it as that perfect state of flow, where your train of thought is this smooth, uninterrupted line. This is the ideal state for deep, high-quality work, and honestly, it's what our brains are built for. But how close are we to that ideal? Not very. Research shows the average knowledge worker spends just 3 minutes on a single task before they get interrupted or switch to something else. 3 minutes. That's barely enough time to even load up the mental software for a task, let alone make any real progress. So we're switching tasks constantly. What's the big deal, right? Well, as we're about to see, every single one of those switches comes with a hidden cost. It's like a cognitive tax that drains our mental energy and just sabotages our productivity in ways we barely even notice. Every single time you jump from, say, a report to an email, your brain has to do 2 really intensive things. First, goal shifting, where it has to drop the old goal, and then rule activation, where it loads up all the new rules for the new task. This isn't free. It takes up precious mental energy, and this tax, well, it adds up big time throughout the day. But here's the kicker. The switch is never clean. A part of your brain gets left behind, still stuck on the last thing you were doing. This brings us to our second key concept, and this one is a total game changer: attention residue. It's like a mental ghost from your previous task is haunting your current one, making it absolutely impossible to give it your full focus. The research from psychologist Sophie Leroy shows this perfectly. She found that when we're forced to leave a task unfinished, that attention residue is even stronger. Our brain is still chewing on that incomplete problem, which means we're starting our next task with a serious cognitive handicap. And the cost of getting back on track? It is staggering. After a single, tiny, seemingly minor interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully get back to the level of deep focus you had before. Just think about that for a second. One quick notification can derail nearly half an hour of your productive time. It's wild. So look, this isn't just about losing a bit of time. The full price is immense. We're talking a potential productivity loss of up to 40%, way more mistakes in our work, and a literal flood of the stress hormone cortisol in our bodies. And over time, this leads directly to mental exhaustion and burnout. Okay, so that's the problem, and it's a big one. But the good news is we're not powerless here. We actually have a whole toolkit of powerful, evidence-based strategies we can use to fight back and protect our most valuable asset, our attention. The first and honestly the most powerful tool is just to stop multitasking. See, multitasking feels productive because all that activity gives us a false sense of progress. But in reality, it's just what experts call mental thrashing, and it can eat up to 40% of your time. Single tasking, on the other hand, might feel a little slower in the moment, but by protecting your cognitive continuity, you actually get more done, faster, and with way higher quality. This chart makes the cost crystal clear. According to Weinberg's classic data on this, if you juggle just 2 projects, 20% of your time is just gone, lost to the friction of switching. Now, what if you try to juggle 5 projects? Well, a staggering 75% of your time is just vaporized by that context switching tax. That leaves you a tiny 5% for each project. It's basically a mathematical recipe for getting nothing done. So, how do we single task in a world that's always demanding we do a million things at once? Simple, we batch. Instead of answering emails as they pop up all day long, group them. Dedicate a specific, sacred block of time to just email mode. then a totally separate block for report writing mode. This minimizes that costly mental gear shifting because you're staying in a similar cognitive state, which is just way more efficient for your brain. Now, some interruptions are just unavoidable, right? When that happens, use this simple but incredibly effective trick. Before you switch, take literally 2 seconds to jot down exactly where you are and what your very next action needs to be. Think of it like a bookmark for your brain. This little external note acts as a breadcrumb, and it will dramatically speed up your re-entry, helping you reload that mental context almost instantly when you come back. Okay, so we know technology is a huge part of the problem, but it can also be a huge part of the solution. The key is to completely shift how we think about our tools and make them work for our focus, not against it. So, what does a tool that protects your focus even look like? Well, it's an integrated platform that stops you from having to constantly jump between 10 different apps. It's technology that's smart enough to bring you the information you need right when you need it. But maybe most importantly, it involves you taking control. Be absolutely ruthless with your notifications. If it isn't urgent and important, it can wait. Silence it. So the key takeaway here is this. When you're looking at any new app or workflow or piece of technology, just ask yourself this one simple question. Does this tool give me more features at the cost of my attention, or does it actively help me protect it? That little shift in perspective, it's everything. As we start to wrap this up, let's just zoom out and look at the big picture. This isn't just about daily productivity hacks. This is about building a sustainable, healthier, and frankly, more effective relationship with our work and our own minds for the long haul. The final message here is that you have way more agency than you think. You can control your tasks through single tasking to prevent that cognitive overload. You can control your time by batching to minimize those expensive switches. You can control your tools by making smarter choices. And you can control your mind by building the habits that actually strengthen your focus. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Take a look at your own day, your own habits. What is the one single change you can commit to starting right now to begin reclaiming your focus and protecting your most valuable resource?